An industry fighting to stay afloat for years is still having to make tough decisions to stay in business. Good evening to you. I'm Heather Lewis. David is off tonight. Print journalism has faced challenges for many years. Our Jesse Inman reports tonight on one local newspaper making a big decision to cut costs.
Yeah, Heather, good evening. The Christian County Headliner has been in existence since 1888, and for the last 15 years, the Headliner has been headquartered in downtown Ozark, but the paper's editor says even having a physical office space is no longer feasible.
You know, we were struggling, quite honestly, well before the first documented case of COVID-19 happened here in Christian County.
That's the case with many forms of print journalism today, but the Christian County Headliner and editor Rance Berger have decided another tough decision was necessary: moving out of their office space altogether. This
is a move to cut some overhead. You know, in the past we've cut staff through attrition mostly, but you know, as we looked at the differences between being in the red and being in the black, this lease and the utilities that go with it represented a pretty fair amount of overhead.
The paper will still live on, though, as staff will shift to working remotely, as many industries have done during the pandemic. But the past few years have seen the staff reduced to just 3 people, their issues cut nearly in half, down to just 12 pages. The latest move, Berger says, was largely an effect of the pandemic.
I would say since that happened, the struggle has intensified.
And that struggle starts with other businesses.
A lot of times when small businesses are hurting, the first thing they look to do is to cut expenses, and sometimes advertising is often that first expense that they cut. So that's been a real challenge for us, is looking at ways to either offset that lost advertising revenue or figuring out how to adapt.
Fewer people buying their $1 papers or subscribing online has hurt. But even with the struggles at hand, the dedication to their craft won't stop.
It's just always nice to get a word of encouragement, and those are becoming fewer and more far between just in the climate that we're in and the way that people view journalists. You know, we're still going to be out and about in our community, going out and finding stories. You know, that's what we do.
That's what it's all about, for sure. Berger says that their goal is to provide updates and news stories about Christian County for Christian County residents in a time where knowing what is happening right in your community is as important as ever. And he hopes that people will support local journalism just as they would any other local business.